Hey, welcome back to Movie Ivy, the channel where I say what I mean, even if that means calling out your favorite magician turned heist franchise for being deeply, and I mean deeply unserious. And today, if you haven't gotten the hint yet, we are talking about Now You See Me, Now You Don't, the third film of the Now You See Me franchise. And right off the bat, I already knew what kind of movie I was really walking into. This series has never taken itself seriously at all, and I say that with the most love ever. These movies have always been like about the Flash and like the magic tricks that probably break physics they just break physics, and that's 100% fine. So despite knowing I was about to witness like a groundbreaking psychological drama, I was genuinely very excited to see this. I already liked the first two, so in my mind, I was like, how can they possibly mess this up? Like, no way, how could they? Well, before we get into this groundbreaking review, here's a quick synopsis of the film. So, in this movie, the four horsemen return, this time teaming up with a new generation of illusionists to try and take down a global criminal network. Yeah. That's really all you need to know for this movie. The stakes are high, the tricks are bigger in this one, and the world they're operating in feels more connected than I would say than ever. Like, it feels more connected than ever. I would absolutely 100% say it makes more sense. Now, to be fair, the beginning of the movie does feel fun, but it just didn't completely hook me. It didn't capture my attention. Like, I found myself kind of looking at the screen like, all right, like, can we get this over with? Not because the opening scene was boring necessarily, but it just could have been delivered with like a little bit more spark, I would say. Like, it sets things up for sure, but it didn't immediately grip me the way a third movie in a flashy entertainment franchise probably should. And I get it. We already know the premise of the movie before it starts. So it's not like there's any major mystery pulling you into this movie. I wouldn't say that's the problem. That's not the problem. The problem is just the pacing of it. Like, it's a little slow to click in for me. Like, it took me a minute to like actually lock in and want to watch this movie. Now, let's talk about what works for this movie before I get into what didn't work, because there's a few things. But there are things that work as well. So, first of all, the reunion of the Horsemen, that's something the movie knows is like a huge selling point, and it doesn't really waste the chances to play into it at all. Like, it builds it up, and then when they're finally all together, you do feel like a little spark of excitement. It makes you happy. Like, that part really works. The magic itself also works. It's fun. The tricks are creative, and some moments you honestly kind of want to rewind to see if you missed the setup of the trick, because you're like, how did that happen? But that's the whole point of it. And then there's a twist at the end that I will not spoil for you, but I will say it landed. It was really well done. It was unexpected, and it genuinely kind of just had that illusionist feel, where you think you figured it all out, but then they kind of just slide something past you. So in that sense, it delivered on what it's supposed to do for a magic movie. It had that going for it. But we need to talk about what didn't work, because there's some stuff here that's kind of hard for me to overlook personally. So, first, and probably the biggest issue for me, was the acting. Not across the board, I would say, not everybody, but in key scenes, key moments, there were moments where you could literally, hear the script being read. Certain characters kind of feel like they were reading lines instead of talking. It didn't really feel lived in. It didn't feel natural at all. The emotion for the scene wasn't landing. And the clearest example of that was the Thaddeus death scene. Sorry for the spoiler, but it's really relevant to the point I'm trying to make here. The scene was supposed to be emotional, but nobody in the scene actually even showed that emotion. Like the tears didn't feel earned, the grief didn't really feel real in it, and I hate to say it, but the whole scene probably could have been cut out of the movie, and the movie probably would have been tighter. It just didn't do what it was supposed to do, and I honestly feel like I could have given a better performance in that scene myself. And I'm not even an actor. It was bad. I didn't appreciate it. My biggest issue with this movie. Another issue was just the way some characters' stories just didn't connect. Like Henley's, she just kind of disappears in the second movie and then she comes back in the third one. But the explanation for her absence it wasn't strong enough to justify the gap. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it felt like a dropped plot point. They kind of trying to clean up with like a quick line or two about like family, husband, kids, dogs. And that doesn't really work when you're dealing with returning characters. We're supposed to really care about, like, we love Henley. Like, we want to hear more about her gap besides that. Then, excuse me. There's also like this weird confusion around Charlie's age that just didn't make sense to me in any way, shape, or form. Like maybe I missed something, or maybe the timeline was explained a little bit poorly to me. Or maybe I'm missing brain cells. Who knows? But the math truly wasn't mathing for me. He's being presented as being in his early 20s, but he remembers his mother dying when he was young, because he was in the car. He remembers that near-death experience. And then he's also apparently been following the Horsemen for over like 10 years. And something about that math just didn't line up to me. And the movie doesn't really slow down long enough to fix it, I would necessarily say. Whatever. Now we're past that. Let's switch gears to my favorite moment in the movie, which was the scene where all 7 characters are kind of showing off their magic tricks to each other. It's this informal magic off moment. It's really fun. It's really fun to watch. Everyone's kind of pulling something out of their sleeve, trying to outdo the others, and you just kind of get to sit back and really enjoy the scene in the moment. It's really playful. It's really playful, it's clever, and for a second it actually feels like you're kind of watching real magicians trying to impress each other in a magic off. That was a really strong moment for the movie. If you like magic at all, that's probably going to be one of your favorite scenes as well. I put you on. Don't worry, I got you. I wanted to talk about something else and I forgot what it was. In terms of overall message or meaning, this movie doesn't really ask you to think that hard at all. I really respect that point though, but it doesn't ask you to think at all. It doesn't pretend to be deeper than it is. Sure, there are a couple lines thrown in about the state of the world and technology in the world today, but they don't allow it to pull you out of the movie, I would say. It stays in its lane, which is the light, flashy, and entertaining. It knows what it is, and it doesn't try to overreach, which is really great. Stay in your lane, queen, but nothing beyond that. Let's see. One moment I really appreciated as well was seeing Mark Ruffalo showing up towards the end, even if he was just in holograph form. I'd been wondering where his character was the whole movie, since he's kind of been one of the emotional anchors of the first 2 films, I would say. You always look forward to seeing him. His return at the end felt like a nice end to the story, but it also kind of raised a big question at the same time. Are we actually done with the series? Because it kind of felt like we had tied everything up with a neat little bow in this movie. And then his character kind of comes in and delivers sly little line that almost hints at there being more to come. And I don't know. I'd probably still watch it if they did make another one, but I also wouldn't be too upset if they left it right here as well. I think this is a good ending point. We don't need to go any further, I will say. All in all, This is like a fun movie. It's light, it's quick, and it doesn't really ask too much of you. It's a good family watch, I would have to say. Like, it's a great weekend distraction, and it's nothing that needs to be like erased from a cinematic history yet. Like, I actually liked it despite my complaints. I do think it's better than the second one, in my opinion. And if they had like tightened up the acting and like written stronger storylines for some characters, I think this one could have been like one of their best ones. But as it stands, it's still entertaining and it does its job of keeping you entertained and watching the meta tricks. I think that's the movie's goal, and it does it. But if I wasn't there before, I'm absolutely going to watch this movie again still. Like, if it comes on streaming, I probably will watch it again. No questions asked, just because it's fun. That's literally it. So yeah. This has been Movie Ivy, where we watch magician movies, kind of expecting like some lighthearted chaos, like, point out some plot holes in it while like still having a good time. And then we also fully admit that sometimes fun is enough for a movie. Like, we don't need a plot. What is a plot? We don't need a plot. Fun is enough. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you also join a team of like illusionist criminals for no reason at all. So yeah, I'll see you next time.